Good morning and welcome to Deck Pass Live. It is a very exciting morning here as we begin to build the 2016 USA Swimming Olympic team. This morning we have the prelims of the 400 IM for both the men and women, the women's 100 fly, and two more races for the men, the 400 free and the 100 breaststroke. To get us started with an overview of the schedule, let's check in with Kaitlin Joyce.
Good morning. It's just about time to get things started. Our format for this meet will be all events swum 400 meters and above will be in the prelims finals format, while all events that are 200 meters and below will be swum prelims, semifinals, followed by finals. Kicking things off this morning is the men's 400 IM. With Michael Phelps out of this event, that leaves a spot open. We have veterans like Ryan Lochte and Tyler Clary going up against a rookie, Chase Kalish. It'll be really interesting to see who's minted tonight in that 400 IM for the Rio Games. Our first event for women is going to be the 100-meter butterfly. We have Olympic gold medalist and veteran Dana Vollmer getting challenged by Kendall Stewart and Kelsey Worrell. In the men's 400 free, it's going to be a battle of the Connors. Olympians Connor Dwyer and Connor Yeager are going to be going for those first two spots, but with Zane Grothy new on the scene and only two spots available, it'll be interesting to see who gets their hand on the wall. In the women's 400 IM, our heavy favorites are Elizabeth Beisel and Maya Dorado. Beisel looking to make her third Olympic team, Dorado looking to make her first. If anybody knocks those two out, we could potentially see our first big upset of this meet. We're looking to write a new story in the men's 100 breaststroke. With Brendan Hansen and Eric Chanteau having both hung up their suits since 2012, that leaves two spots wide open. Kevin Cordes and Cody Miller, both national team members, are our heavy favorites. But keep an eye out on Reese Whitley and Michael Andrew, two teen phenoms that are going to be hot on their heels, having both broken national age group records in the last couple months. I'll be back tonight on lane 9 alongside Ariana Kukors to tell you how things unfolded in finals and see who our first few Olympic team members are as we start to build our roster for the Rio Games.
Thanks, Kaitlin. I'm Kaitlin Sandeno, host of Deck Pass Live presented by AT&T, and today I have the honor of interviewing Whitney Hedgepeth. Whitney competed in the 88 and the 96 Olympics. Today, she's here as a swim mom. So what is that like? You have a 16-year-old daughter that's at her first Olympic trials. What are the emotions? Is she asking mom for advice? How's this going?
It's a lot less nerve-wracking as a mom. For me, so far, she hasn't swum yet. It's exciting. She's excited. It would take a true miracle for her to make the team, but this is her chance to see how it all is, and maybe in 4 years be excited to try again. So she's just embracing all the newness, I guess.
Now, does she ask mom for advice, or is she like, I got this? What's her demeanor with you? Does she go to the veteran who's been here before, or does she kind of step back?
She doesn't ask too much. She's been around. She's been to trials since she was a baby.
Awesome.
We always come as a family. So she knows the routine, and she's just happy to be here, I think.
Is this her only race of the meet, or how many races does she have?
She has 100, 200 fly, and 200 free.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Now, there's a lot of swim parents watching, and I feel like a lot of parents ask me, like, well, what was your parents, like, what were they like? What advice would you give to the swim parents that are watching this morning as far as how could you support your swimmer to the best ability for them?
Love your child no matter what. Cheer them on. Have fun in the journey with them. Don't add extra pressure because it's already there. I mean, this is the hardest meet in the world. Just love them.
That's incredible. I think unconditional love, that's what I say about my parents. I feel like my success came because I always felt loved no matter what, first place, last place.
Right.
So I was never afraid to fail. So I love what you said about that. I believe in that. Just love your child, and they won't be afraid to get up there and show them what they got.
Right.
So obviously your daughter's your favorite that you're cheering for here. What about your second favorite? Who are you excited to watch at this swim meet?
Of course, all the UT people, you know, hook 'em horns,
Yeah,
right?
I gotta plug that.
It's just so great to see the racing here.
Right.
You know, I don't have favorites. There's always those that get third that kind of break your heart a little bit, you know, but that's the journey too. I mean, not
Right.
everybody can win. There's only 2 people per event,
Right.
except for the 100 and 200 free. I mean, there's ups and downs as a spectator, right?
Definitely.
I mean, it is just amazing.
It's an emotional roller coaster as the fans witness it too. So you talked about the third place that, you know, a lot of people are going to get, and you had that experience. What was that like, touching the wall and seeing third?
I've gotten third 3 times.
Oh, lucky number 3.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, right? And my mom and dad love me regardless. I had a husband at one of the times that loved me. I mean, you just move on, and it builds character. It's tough, but it's not the end of the world. The world goes on whether you get first, second, or third. You know,
I love your attitude. It's so refreshing to hear.
I mean, it's way better to be first or second, but you don't always get what you want.
Sure, of course.
You know, and you have to learn from it and move on, and
it's
okay.
Yeah. So your first trials was in 88?
I went at 13 and 84.
Oh my God, 13?
So I have been around a long time.
That is
I'm so old.
So, but then you made your first team in 88.
I did.
What was that like, competing for the rightful age of what, 17?
17.
Yes.
Well, I swam 200 IM, which I wasn't an IMer. I just kind of made it from lane 8 at trials.
See, anything can happen at trials.
I was lucky. Everybody had a bad race, I had a good race. So it was odd to go to the Olympics and swim an event that I wasn't known for.
Sure.
And I got 8th, which was a downer. You know, I get back to high school and everybody's like, how come you didn't win?
Oh, geez.
And I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the Olympics again and win a medal. And then I failed to make it in 92. And then 96 was just kind of icing on the cake. And at that point, I was considered very old at 25.
Right. I think it's so inspiring to hear what you just said. You know, I swam in 88, I made it. Went for the next trials, didn't make it. Some people would be like, you know, it's been a great run. And then you win again, 96, you qualify, you come home with a gold, 2 silver medals, and you're swimming on U.S. soil.
Right.
And I mean, what is that like?
You can't beat that. I mean, I really hope the Olympics can come back to LA or, you know, anywhere in the U.S. to have that home court advantage. And it's just so easy for your family to get there and see the things. And I mean, you really want to wear that red, white, and blue in the U.S. I mean, it was definitely way different than the first time in Seoul, Korea. I mean, they're both great. They're both fun, but having the Olympics in the U.S. is just awesome.
Oh, I imagine. Now, you've been to a lot of trials over the years.
Yes.
Can you tell the audience what the major differences are, like how it's evolved? Like, it's pretty mind-blowing, the show that they put on now.
Yeah, I mean, this is a circus, really. I mean, it is amazing to have this many people interested in swimming. I mean, only at the trials and the Olympics, but at least we have that. And people are lining up to get in line, you know, to come watch this, and it's awesome for swimming.
That's so neat. Now, do you still give back to the sport? I heard that we might have a common theme that we're swim coaches now.
Yeah.
What are you up to these days?
Well, I always coach master swimming, and since I got out of swimming, I've coached age group until I had kids, and then I coached masters. And I coach Summer League in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, Summer League.
I have a young son that likes me to do it, and every year he's like, please, Mom, do it. And that's kind of my thing, I do.
That's amazing. Now, how many years have you coached that?
8.
Wow.
8
They're
years
very, very lucky to have you.
Thanks.
Very lucky to have you. Well, it's been an absolute pleasure to
Thank
spend
you.
some time with you today. Thank you for starting our morning with us.
Thanks for having
we'll
me.
We'll be cheering for your daughter. All the best. And it's just, like I said, it's so refreshing to hear your outlook on life, and it's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you.
Warm-ups continue behind me as we are less than an hour away from the starter prelims. You know this pool doesn't just appear here by magic. There are actually 2 pools, the competition pool and the warm-up pool next door at the convention center. It takes almost 2 million gallons of water to fill the 2 pools. So we need a little bit more info. I asked my pal Ariana Kukors to check into the story for us.
Hi, I'm Ariana Kukors. I'm here at the 2016 U.S. Olympic Trials in Omaha, Nebraska, and I am joined by Mike Mintenko. Mike is a 2000 and 2004 Olympian, and now he works for Mirtha Pools. So thanks for being here, Mike. Can you tell us a little bit about what the work is that you do with Mirtha?
I'm actually the director of sales for Mirtha Pools USA, and so I focus a lot of my time on the marketing and sales side, but I work with the team that has put together this Olympic Trials pool behind us.
I mean, it looks amazing. Can you tell us about some of the features behind it, what this process is like? I know you said it took about 10 days for it to come in.
Yeah, building the trials pools is certainly something that takes some time, and at the same time too, we're put on a pretty tight schedule. So both this competition pool behind us and the main warm-up pool, which is also in the convention center, were both built in essentially 10 days, and then heated, filled with water, heated and treated and ready to go. So It's a quick process, but it's what we do when we do temporary pools.
There's a lot of unique features to this year's pool. Can you tell me about some of those?
So behind us, you'll see a removable head wall. That's part of the pool as well, right? It's part of the FINA requirements to have a certain specific height from the top of the deck where the starting block platform is to the water level. The pool itself is a rim flow guttered pool, so the water is going to flow over properly, rim flow equally around the pool. It's part of being a fast pool. It's 2.5 meters deep throughout, and it's the same depth throughout the entire distance of the pool. So it's a fair playing field for everyone.
Okay, so I know that there's a process. These pools don't stay here. They go to a new home when they're done. So what is the selling process like? Where is this pool going after these next 10 days?
Yeah, so the competition pool behind us has found a home in West Fargo, North Dakota. Okay. So it's part of a new school district project there, and we're really excited. It was bought by a group called Up Aquatics from the local club team there and the local group. And then the warm-up pool, which is in the convention center, is going to San Ynez, California, which is outside Santa Barbara.
So I heard a rumor that one of the pools was once stolen. Is that true?
It is, unfortunately, yes. In 2004, the warm-up pool was basically packed up after the event in Long Beach, shipped to New Jersey where it was going to find a new home, and at the height of the stainless steel market throughout the world, all the steel was stolen and never recovered. So technically, there's a Murtha pool recycled somewhere from that event.
Oh my gosh, never to be heard from again.
Never to be heard from. Yeah.
Wow. That's
very unusual.
A stolen pool? Thanks, Ari. Don't forget that you can see Ariana every night of the trials at 9 p.m. Central Time on her show, Lane 9. She'll wrap up day 1 of the trials, including filling you in on who has made the team so far. All right, guys, so this is day 1 prelims, warm up right now. Fans are starting to come in. You can feel the excitement. It's getting pretty exciting on the pool deck. You can just feel it in the air. So first as a swimmer, now as a coach, I know how important the technical side of swimming is, especially when races are won by 100th of a second. The technical side of swimming is so important, and nobody understands it as well as USA Swimming's Russell Mark.
You know, my degree was in aerospace engineering, and I swam in college. So essentially I double majored, just like every student athlete. And I went into engineering for about 9 months, and then came out and had an opportunity for an internship. And 1-year internship turned into 14 years and an amazing lifetime career. I'm essentially an advisor for the U.S. Olympic swim team. In that role, everything from watching film above and underwater, giving perspective from my experience from 3 Olympic Games and heading into a 4th, just being able to help our athletes and coaches prepare for their highest level of competition. You know, I'd say a lot of what you'll see here at trials is that the folks that win the races are the ones that can finish strong, and I know that's really cliched, but I would say it's that person that can manage their race, manage their energy, manage their stroke efficiency, so that at the end they can turn it to another gear. And it takes a lot of training, absolutely. Everyone here works hard, but it's definitely a lot of being able to manage all of those aspects. And then I would say there is technique modification too, because of the physical fatigue that every athlete experiences.
Wow. I too majored in aerospace engineering. Now that you met Russell, here's what he does.
All of the great backstrokers at Olympic trials this week have a great backstroke catch, including Tyler Clary, the defending Olympic champion in the 200 back, who you'll also see in the 400 IM today. The key part of the catch is to focus on pushing water back toward your feet. Immediately after the hands enter the water, the palm should face back and fingers point away from the body. The hand doesn't need to push down, which is the natural tendency and common mistake that you also see in this contrasting example. Watch this week as the best backstrokers keep their hands relatively shallow and to the side of their body. Push water back, not down.
What an incredible asset Russell is to the national team. Now let's take a look at the events that are being swum today. We have the men's 400 IM, with favorites being Ryan Lochte, and now that there's no Michael Phelps, can his teammate Chase Kalish take his spot? Ryan is still 31 years old, which isn't very common to be seeing a man of that age still competing in these grueling events. So can Kaitlin step up and take the spot that Michael Phelps has left open? For the women's 100 fly, we're going to look for the name Dana Vollmer. So Dana is an Olympic gold medalist from London and a new mom, and I have the honor of saying that I was on my Olympic gold medal relay and world record relay with Dana, so I'll be cheering for her. Moving on to the men's 400 freestyle, we have Connor Dwyer. All right, so listen to this. Dwyer is here with 70 deep in the stands. There's gonna be 70 family members and friends cheering for Connor. So he's obviously going to be a crowd favorite, but there's also another Connor Yeager, who's from Michigan and is another top name to be looking out for. All right, women's 400 IM, my baby, my specialty. Two girls to be looking out for, Elizabeth Feisel and Maya Dorado. Saw Maya yesterday, got to talk to her real briefly. She made a comment that she's very excited that the 400 IM is on the first day. Sounds like she just wants to get in and get that race done, and I could not agree with her anymore. So Feisel is the silver medalist from London, but Maya has been looking so strong as this kind of the top time to beat these days. All right, moving on to the men's 100 breaststroke. This is going to be some new faces. Eric Chanteau and Brendan Hansen were in 2012, no longer swimming. We have 3 best times under a minute, which is very impressive. Kevin Cordes, Cody Miller, and Nick Fink. So some amazing guys to look out for. We're going to have maybe some newbies on the team, some rookies. How exciting. What an awesome day of racing to look forward to. All week long, we invite you to join the conversation by tweeting at us with #DeckPassLive. Share your questions, who are you cheering on, and where are you watching from for us to share live on the shows. For the latest videos, news, and photos, visit us at usaswimming.org. My name is Kaitlin Sandeno, coming to you Deck Pass Live, presented by AT&T.